So you want to run a cannon build in the version of M.A.V. Beta 0.6.9.0, and this is a mild, constructive rant on the current version of cannons. Constructive. So I will do my best to tread lightly as I love the game. So here we go. I want an attacker. I want a cannon hound to be an attacker that can get up into the combat and take some hits. It's durable. It takes shots, and it makes some shots back and has an effect other than just absorbing bullets. I want cannons to be able to take those shots and fire back. And when you make beautiful, accurate shots, do something. So let's start off with a parts list. Let's build it from scratch here. Let's see, chassis. Now accuracy is a key factor with cannons. We want to make it so that it's accurate. And then the current recoil, you could take these biped legs and you could throw in, um, let's see, the Leopard, which has the highest max load, great durability. It's fast and moving around as far as acceleration, braking, turning. Uh, its speed's a 40, and its recoil stability is down at the 250 end, which means I can't fire cannons um, any more than like a group of maybe two. Um, you could fire more, and you can get into the complexities of aim stability and accuracy when it comes to those things, which would require us to go to a different pit, and we're not going to get into all that deepness of accuracy on this thing. So we're going to go straight to the best leg for durability. We want to take a shot, and it's got good speed, and it's got the high recoil stability of 625, which should be enough to fire a cannon accurately, a cannon group, I should say. Now with the Beta 6.9, they've upgraded the medium pit of the Pit Bull 5 to basically a super pit. So we're going to take the super pit of durability, the 1423 durability with a 60 armor rating, and at a whopping weight of 515, one of the lowest weights for a cockpit in the game. Uh, and we're going to crank that out. I think they made, or I should say, I think this pit was designed to push the viability of open pit design. So we're gonna test that out. We're gonna throw a big pit on there, comparable to like a C110 in Chrome Hounds. For parts, let's see, weapons. We're gonna throw in some cannons, and we're going to not go with the HDs, which is the highest damage output, but the weight on it is tremendous. We're going to go with not the Z's, but we'll kick it up to the more accurate, longer range um, X-Cons, Y6s. We're going to group in 4 of them. I'm not going to go into, like I said, all the variations of making these things accurate. Part placement is important when dealing with different recoil. In this case, with the legs and the chassis fire rate, this grouping should pull us into an accurate shot for this build off the pit like that. It should be accurate enough, depending on the baseline accuracy of cannons, which is an issue too with some of the other ones. So we're under energy. We need to throw a Jenny on there. Let's go through. looks like the highest durability medium gen, which will take on our energy consumption, will be the X28. It's got the durability. It's a nice big chunk of defense on the left flank there, and it gives us the energy we need. So that's nice setup there. Let's see. We want a little more armor in the front, something we can block stuff with, incoming rockets or a splash, or just giving us a shield, like warriors of old. We need something to block. So let's throw in small angle spacer. And then let's pop an armor plate. Something long that'll cover part of the pit and cover that left flank at a nice angle that we can rotate around and block stuff with. Let's see. 709. Could use a plate 1, which will extend the front defense. Let's cover the leg a little bit. Left plate. There we go. So this little tiny spacer, it's very vulnerable. It's got no defense. You pop that spacer off, the shield will drop. An advantage to putting it on like this is really to get to that spacer. I mean, that angle blocks it. You can't hit the spacer from there. And except for a shot across this angle or a shot across that angle, it is well defended spacer. And the shield should block a splash from coming up and knocking our little spacer out. Now, if they get a rocket in against the Jenny on one of these ranges, it'll pop. But it should have an effect against direct fire. Excellent. And if you block with the shield against incoming Howie rounds or rockets, it should defend the spacer from popping off. So now we've got our basic build. We're on weight, 50 under. I'm good with that. Weapon selection, back to accuracy again. We're going to go with the recoil, which there will be, because cannons have incredible recoil. A main weapon group like that. A secondary weapon group in case the first camera blows out. We'll still add that first camera into the second weapon group in case it still operates, you just can't see through it. It's still fire, it won't be as accurate. It'll put a round out. We're good with that. So, now we got a build. There's a cannon build. 4 cannons, big pit, big legs, big Jenny, armor plate. We're ready to roll in the battle. This is it. Let's rock and roll. So let's see how it rolls. It looks like 3 opponents. We're good with that. A little siege game, 3-on-1. Kind of an open field with some hills, some obscuring view. Defend the base. Should mention these legs are quick. Don't have a lot of weight, but they're fast. Let's test accuracy out at a medium range without moving, which affects accuracy. Not a bad group there. Not a bad group there. A little up and down. Yeah. See the consistency on it. Pretty consistent. Alright, I got a little scout coming at me. He's backing off. Taking shots at the sniper off his head at my base. Cranking it. Ready to block for him. That's hot. right there. It's a dart. But so far, the durability of the build is holding up. But something just seems to be lacking. And I'm taking extended fire, which is nice. I should be able to take that pin out. Lead a little bit off at this close range. There we go. So extended fire on the one of the lightest pits in the game. I got the shield. Amazingly enough, missed that. Find the right lead. Oh, the lightest chassis in the game, just really that direct hit. There we go. Just threw it up with the cannons. That's right, me and you. Stop in the pit action. I think I knocked her out a little bit there. So my shield is gone now. That's really a bunch of damage. The pit's holding up really well. So now the open pit, fully exposed, taking shots. Good shot across this bow. Got a lot of things going on. The open legs also taking a lot of shots. Jenny taking a lot of shots. Overall, cannon surviving well. You know, I have been protecting the shield a bit. There we go. On the pit. Not a bad victory. Not a bad showing, but you notice the feel of that. When you make those great shots, and it just seems like you had to keep making them and making them and making them against an AI that's not hitting you all that well. I mean, I had a 60% accuracy, maybe a little low, but I took some shots and missed. I could have done better. So we take that into consideration. Not terrible. The durability was well. I mean, it held up. The build held up. But there was something lacking, and I think it was definitely on the firepower aspect of all that. So let's take the cannons off. Let's add in a different weapon system. Let's try machine guns. Let's see how machine guns do for us. Now with machine guns, I think we can even go a little higher than that. Weapon. Let's go with the long-range machine guns. And I had 4 cannons. I think I can fit 5 machine guns. 5 heavy-duty, long-range machine guns. And we'll put the weapon camera in the center. I don't think recoil, even on these heavy duties, at their rate of fire is going to affect accuracy, especially with the large variable in Spitfire machine guns, which I kind of like. I kind of like some inaccuracy with them, the amount of bullets you're putting out for to spray around, and it feels right. The 160s are just out of control. They're way too inaccurate. They need a little tone on that. But let's roll out with machine guns. Similar build, durability. Same 3 opponents. Well, won't be the exact same, but the same types. Defender, a sniper, attacker, and a scout. Accuracy, no, there is some pickup. There's 5 HDs firing. See it rising to the top right with the recoil. So now with some shot dragging, it's slow enough to the point where the shot drag should just easily allow you to keep this on target. And we'll see. One advantage here is your rate of fire. You have constant feedback to what you're hitting. And did we notice something there? Scout came in, Scout took shots at base, Scout disappeared. So here comes Tread. Oh, there goes Tread. Some range here. Let's get into a medium-range combat with machine gun. A lot of ammo left. That's a victory there. So we know the build can hold up well, but for the same weight and firepower, it seems that machine guns by far outpower cannons hugely. But we know their damage per minute is large, and then their durability is decent, and the amount of damage I put out was incredible there. So as an attacker build, getting into combat with cannons, let's take a quick look at defense. So I got 5 machine guns, which means I've got an extra part with extra durability and the extra firepower. Taking splash out of account, just direct fire, total durability, probably about the same as cannons. So I've got 355 durability. My armor rating is significantly less, so they are vulnerable to splash. But they obviously can range out and burn stuff down. And the durability at 355, not bad. Let's see, cannon. The ones I were using, they allowed me to have 4 durability, 460, 100 extra durability, but 1 less weapon. Better armor rating, so they're going to hold up to splash, obviously better because you got a big group, and the splash will affect multiple weapons. So it'll hold up better to splash, but overall durability for the same weight, if you added your durabilities up, they're going to be very similar. And your damage output is going to be a lot less. A lot less. And shot making becomes much more important. Recoil becomes much more important. So many aspects there. So what about Howies? Well, Howie's really meant for support weapons splashing at distance, but we could drag those up into combat. Rate of fire 3 on the HDs, That's got to change because you're in combat. I can't wait 20. I can't take 20 seconds worth of shots before I do something. The 11 is quick, but 80 damage, durability's good. So the question is, how many of the 160s can I fit? Um, I think the X's are more accurate. So I've got about 3K. So in my opinion, that'll give me 3 Howies. Or if they're X's. There we go. Slide that in the right direction. Rotate. Rotate. Pop that in there. Get them all tight. Yeah, I'll go look at 3. And with the extra weight, maybe an LP guard 1. Close enough. So I got a little extended tab to get on the protective pad. With this, we're going to set up a secondary set of weapons like that. And that's another thing. Howies have a slow reload rate. They fire kind of slow. So you can offset their explosive and distraction by slow firing them, especially since you have less of them. Let's see how it fires off this chase. Nice tight little group. There's our base. Reload late, not bad. Here comes a little hover. Almost got it on the way in. Well, hello, little hover. Huh. Hover down. Took a little splash damage from that. I waited probably a little too long. But when you only have one shot, you want to save it. It's just little guys. They move around a lot. Pushing that right flank out. Puts the side of the shields on. Ooh. That tread's got a high armor rating. It's got a high armor rating on the pit. It's only got rockets left as weapons. This shot, it's going to clean off everything with those highest armor ratings, which would be the pit and the shield and those nigh invulnerable treads. But now it's stripped, it's just a slow Slow walking, painful demise of torture for this thing. And that's victory. So you're thinking, okay, so Howie's a support weapon. Just used as an attack. Howie shouldn't be able to be used as an attack build. Really, it's not good at that, but it did better with 3 Howies than cannons by far. Machine guns just obliterated the opponents as an attacker, and they are an attacker weapon, so we get that. But Howies, better to use 3 Howies than 4 cannons. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all the weapons and that. We could go into rockets, but their durability doesn't allow them for that concept so much. Even the best durability 208. On the rocket quads, they fall off pretty easy. You could shield it, but to get that ability to be that tanking guy, that's not going to hold up. Would it be effective? Sure. You block with that shield and you turn, you unleash a bunch of rockets or something, it's going to work. But they could pop off, and that's not what you're looking for. You want guns that hold up. Oddly enough, assault rifles fall into the rocket category. They'll be effective, yes. Would they fall off? Yes. Shotguns, you could do. You could do shotguns. Shotguns would probably be pretty effective. They got huge durability, 406. The recoil is tough. The HD's pretty much needed. Let's do a quick one with shotguns and see how they compare. Yeah, I don't like how that's sitting. It depends on how much it drags up. Let's hope that with the huge stability of these legs that I don't know. It is certainly possible that I could fit. Oof. That's not going to slide in there. All right, so let's give that a shot. I think it's overweight. Can I drop 100 pounds? Yeah. Probably go back to that similar armor plating that I was using. Cannons, a little less armor. We had a LP plate baseline. There we go. Alright, so weapon grouping. It's going to be a tough one. Even with that large recoil stability, I'm thinking a 2-3. Well, we'll set them all up on the one weapon group, and we'll utilize the second one to be able to cycle. So what I mean is, this one weapon group, starting at the top, firing all these, it will drastically drag my pit up this way, and then hopefully it lines them up in a firing sequence before my entire recoil drags my face up into the sky. If that's not the case, I set up the second weapon grouping starting down here. 1, 2, 3. And that way I fire these 3 guns, which should give me a better pattern than all 5 together. And once I cycle through to the 5 pattern, these 3 will be reloading, which will allow me to fire just the top 2. And therefore I have a pattern of all 5, 3, and 2, or all 5 again if I want. With 2 weapon groupings that allows me to do amazing things. So let's give our new build, the shotgun attacker, a tryout in the same mode. This video is running kind of long, but just to give you an idea of what I mean by cannons. Cannons aren't really feasible at the moment. Just about every other weapon is going to outperform, and not just mildly outperform, massively outperform weight to weight in the role that cannons usually take. Not even talking long range shooting, support fire. No, the baseline, I get up and I produce. Shotguns at range, not that great. This is a problem, man. I mean, I would have thought, it was a good distance, but I would have thought that that would have went down with 2 shots. It took 3, but they were pretty easy shots. I didn't go point blank. That was close range shots. That was relatively good. These guys' rockets are hard to navigate the shotguns. He's putting out some machine gun fire with rockets. It's just protected a bit. And he's going to torch me. 3 flames. So the build's holding up to some heavy fire. That's a good defender build. But it dispatched it pretty quickly. So in an open field, shotguns do less damage at distance, yes. But you're getting hits. I mean that spread at that distance, you're hitting your opponent. Which with cannons, if you miss, you miss. It's miss big, hit big, right? So the problem is when you hit, you don't hit big. The shotguns, you don't hit big, but you're not missing at distance, and up close, you're landing your shots. They're devastating. So, I mean, the only other thing I can see to compare to would be feasible would be like HD snipers. I mean, or even the ×2 snipers. You could probably do. So we sack this off. We'll do the last comparison on snipers. It covers about every weapon. I mean, other than flamers and mines, which I could argue probably flamers and mines are better than cannons, even at the cannon roll. Probably pretty easy with a flamer, but let's throw out what we got. Sniper, short range. I mean, that needs to be upped a bit. I've got a little over 3K to utilize. The problem here is I can only get 2 HD snipers. I can't get a third. Even if I went light, I'm only going to get 2. That's a problem with HDs. The weight's just too heavy. Durability-wise, I got 360 durability. I mean, I could do 2, and I think even with 2, which would leave me a whole bunch of weight left over, could make them feasible. Z's 225 durability. 270. I can pull off 3 X's, I think. X point, X times 2. X point X times 2 there. Let's try it. Bink. 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 Yep. Got all 3. And with those legs, I can probably even fire those 3 accurately. Do something similar here. I haven't tried any of this, so I don't know if my accuracy. I'm just going off basic concept. We can modify, depending on delay, you can modify with extra weapon group settings to space out the fire delay. So if my recoil isn't affecting my line of guns firing, I could actually spread the delay out by moving the guns farther down my delay line. So this one fires and drags me into this one. It's not happening fast enough, so my accuracy is that this one is still firing off from this one. There's a spacing in there. I can shorten that spacing up by extending the fire delay. And depending on the pit's fire delay, this one, not such a great delay. So this should group together decently, if not overtly faster than I want it. Because you can't set it faster by utilizing that skill. And then we'll do a second weapon setting off the primary nub to this one, which will give us a group of 2. And if we have to, we can cycle back to 1. We can speed fire by bumpering off that weapon grouping to get all 3 guns firing off that camera if we need be. That gives us a lot of variance. And it depends on the cycle rate between those 2 on whether you want to spread that out. Anyway, on to test our new frontline fighter, the Sniper X frontline battle beast, we'll call it. Now its durability is less, armor rating is less. Snipers are not designed for close combat, but the velocity should mean I should be able to connect a lot easier once I get used to the ramp up in speed. I'm not even going to take shots at distance. I'll wait till they get within like cannon range. Looked like the accuracy was bad. I probably should have tested that out first. Didn't lead proper. Because this one is moving. Boom. Yeah, looks like accuracy is accurate. Let's take a test shot. Give him a warning shot over there. Hey, don't come in. I've got snipers. Okay, so we're going to battle test. Let's get into combat. This guy's got shotguns. Sniper. The reload rate's not terrible. That was a clear miss on my part. Now I'm getting flanked on the sniper side. Yeah, a little inaccurate at close ranges. I bet it spreads out much tighter at distance. I don't know what to say. 3 snipers versus 4 cannons up close. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say the snipers, though not the most durable, and you gotta take a little extra caution on protecting them, still probably fills the role better than cannons. Um, yeah, but I'll let you you take a look at all that information and make the decision. Thanks for your time. Bye bye.